eradicate poverty in Scotland at a stroke. No other policy would do so. This would bring us into line with progressive forces around the world when arguing in favour of this. Put simply, it gives an income to every person, every citizen of this country, irrespective of how much they earn, irrespective of whether they're in work or out of work, whether they're on benefits or not, whether they're sick or disabled or not, whether they're a child or an adult or not. And in doing so, it destigmatises and ensures that every person will be lifted out of poverty tomorrow. It's a simple and efficient policy. There will be no means testing, there will be no appeals, there will be no sanctions, because every citizen would be entitled to it as a matter of right by the very fact that they're a citizen of this country. It would be, in essence, something that this country would be proud of. It would be a statement of intent. Many others are better placed than I to talk about the stigmatisation and the sanctions that have been imposed on many of our own colleagues in this room, but many people in our communities with the welfare reforms that the Tory government have implemented. That is a constructed attack on the working class. It's about othering a group in society which has no responsibility whatsoever for the economic crash from 2008 onwards. And yet they have been blamed, we have been blamed as a class for that. This again would provide a universal benefit that would ensure that every citizen is entitled to a citizen's income, and as such would destigmatise the receipt of benefits. In the same way that we've campaigned for free school meals and free prescriptions, it would mean that, yes, some people who are a little bit richer would benefit, but if they do so, well, they'll pay a little bit more tax to pay for the rest of us. And that's the way universal public services work. There are a couple of other aspects of this that are also very positive spin-offs. If you're a carer, suddenly you'll get a citizen's income that will lift you out of poverty. It will take away all the uncertainties that many carers have, and it would actually take away all the need for us to have specific policies for carers, because actually it would deliver them out of poverty and deliver them a stable, sustainable income. It would provide flexibility and an income for students and for those wanting to take ad hoc education, for artists, for people who have musical ability, who maybe want to pursue that but can't do it just now because they're economic slaves having to work for poverty wages. There's a whole Citizens Income Trust that's been doing work on this. The late Professor Lisa Mackay from Glasgow Caledonian University left with a power of work as her legacy. We would use that to produce a fully worked up policy. Comrades, support the motion. Thank you.
The amendment from Dundee branch, I should give a disclaimer to, is we're not opposing in principle the idea of a citizen's income, and in fact there are many members in our Dundee branch who are very firm advocates of such a policy. My only concerns are that a detailed policy has not yet been written up, and it would be best for a detailed policy proposal to be written first and then brought to consideration of the membership, rather than the other way around, especially since some of the work cited in this motion, such as that by the Citizens Income Trust and the late Professor Lisa Mackay, contradicts each other and puts forward different ideas for how a citizens' income motion policy can be developed. Certainly, I believe there is much more work to be done on the impact, for instance, of such a policy on migration, and especially on the living conditions of illegal immigrants, which do exist in our country and are among the most vulnerable people here. So I would just want to move the amendment that rather than committing ourselves now to campaigning for a citizen's income, that we commission a small group to develop a policy proposal to bring back the membership. Thank you.
Colin Turbot, Ayrshire branch. Can't throw cold water on this, but it sounds to me like a silver bullet for socialism. And really there aren't any silver bullets. I wish there were, but there aren't. Socialism will win through struggle, principally through struggle in the workplaces, and I don't think prescriptions like this give us, panaceas like this, give us any kind of a programme for struggle in the workplaces. In fact, they give an excuse not to do that at all, but for a single demand that will deliver us all the things that we believe can only be delivered in a socialist society. Now, I haven't thought through my response here. I unfortunately attended an STUC conference on poverty 2 weeks ago, on National Poverty Week. It was an absolutely appalling conference with no references to struggle, fight back, strikes, anti-trade union rules, or any of the other things that are holding us back. And one of the presentations was by an ex-banker called Francis Coppola, was on this very subject, a very unimpressive presentation. I'm going to ask you if you'll remit this back, because I'm not sure about it at all, and I'm certainly not. I don't believe that this is the silver bullet that people might be looking for. I believe that the things that we want will be won through the creation of a party like the SSP and through mass struggle.
Hello everyone, I'm Wendy McDonald from the recently formed West Lothian branch. I would say that, yeah, this isn't a panacea, absolutely it's not. It's only one of a whole raft of policies that I think the SSP should be standing up to fight for the rights of everybody in this country. I know that some people have said, can we afford a citizen's income? I would say that we can't afford not to have something akin to citizen's income. The current welfare system is divisive, it's stigmatising. I know we're above that, it's intrusive to people's lives. People have to stand, they have to account for their time, who's living with them, whether or not their partners live with them or not, and that's really intrusive into people's lives. Not only that, people have to account for the way that they spend their time just now. Something along the lines of the citizens' income not only eradicates poverty and tackles inequality of income, it also tackles inequality in relation to opportunity, choice, dignity, something that people in benefits quite often are completely stripped of. Currently the benefits system really is a trap. It's a trap to people's freedom, and something like citizens' income can provide a more supportive form of benefits, a redistributive of income, and stimulating to Scottish society. Turns that benefit trap into something more like freedom. People have the freedom to care for their relatives, people in their lives, to work if they want to or if they don't want to work part-time, to take a short-term contract and then to go and do something else, to go and study. It gives them the opportunity to create, if that's what they want to do, and to participate in society without fear of sanctions or conditions. Short-term work, because if you do, next week we're going to fill in another form and take your benefits off you, and you'll be left for a couple of weeks with no money. So this isn't just about money, this is about opportunity, and it's about dignity for people, for the citizens of this country, and I think that the conference should support this motion.